Hey everybody, so I was just driving past the house today on my way to pick up the kids from school because I was going to drop off some phones for Andrew so he could have multiple recording devices for the footage. So I pull into the driveway and I see that there's a car sitting right here. This is my car here, but yeah, there was a black car right here, and I was like, who's this? So I'm on the phone with Andrew as I was pulling up the driveway anyways, and I said, oh, somebody's here. I parked right behind them, and it took a minute for the person to get out of the car. This guy gets out, and he's got an ADT badge on, and he's got an ADT binder, and he's like asking me, did anybody at closing tell us that ADT would be stopping by? And I said, no, and he's like, oh, well, are you the homeowner? I'm like, yeah. We're just stopping by for like a new homeowners package or something. And I said, no. And then Andrew's like, let me talk to him, because I had my earpiece in and I could hear Andrew saying, let me talk to him. So the guy took the phone and started talking to Andrew, and Andrew's like, no, we don't need anything. We didn't sign up any contracts or anything. So the guy left. I got back in the car and Andrew's like, go get his license plate. And so I flew down the driveway because he was still at the end of the driveway here, and I took a picture of the license plate. And then Andrew called ADT, and they said that they do not send anybody door to door. So it was definitely a scam. It was somebody casing the house to see what was going on up here. Today, my goal is to get internet here. We have a few security cameras already that we're going to set those all up. We're going to make sure that everything is running with Wi-Fi and internet, and then that way if anybody does pull up here in the middle of the night, we'll be notified and we can call the police. So Andrew did call the police after he got off the phone with ADT, and they said that they took his license plate number and his description based off of what I remembered. And they said that they would be, looking for him. So that's my main goal today. Hey everybody, got the internet here and we're gonna set it up. But can we just take a minute to appreciate how nice and open and clean this basement feels? Came down here and it was like, oh, Andrew's done such a good job.
Be a lesson to everybody that if somebody comes up and they're a door-to-door salesman, it's not super uncommon that they're not who they say they are. It's really unfortunate, and the really unfortunate part is that a lot of these thieves, they go through a lot of effort. They're very persistent and very creative oftentimes in how they go about stealing. If they put that energy to good use, they'd probably get a lot done. But this man was definitely not a security salesman. He was not from ADT. So if somebody does come by and they're a door-to-door salesman, something to always make sure of is ask for their identification. They should have some kind of badge ID or something that links them back to a company so that you can verify with the company if they're actually legitimate. Don't ever give away if the place is unoccupied at any point. And they can be very creative about this. Oftentimes they'll ask questions, when are you usually home? And these are very identifying questions for, knowing whether or not you're not there at other times. Whether or not you have a security system, that's nobody's business. The only business they should see is if you happen to have a sign up saying that you have a security system up. You never reveal to somebody that you have no security system. Any sort of personal or sensitive information, never reveal that, especially door to door. If I was dealing with a door-to-door salesman, even if I wanted the product, I would still find another way of buying it than the door-to-door method. Unfortunately, it's very hard to trust sales that are done door to door now, soliciting and all that. There's just too many people who are able to get very sensitive information, and a lot of con artists and thieves. So it's just not worth doing, unfortunately. Did deal with the problem, and we'll see tomorrow if the place is still secure. I think it's probably going to be fine. I wouldn't be surprised if something did happen, but I doubt it. I think he was kind of spooked when I spoke to him. But we'll see. But until then, have a good night, and we'll see you tomorrow.